Welcome back to Pillars of Eternity. This is SkormsGhost here. We are going to pick up exactly right where we left off. Yeah, we were inside the cavern, escaping the squall after the ambush. If it was a squall, a storm, or a windstorm. After the ambush at the camp. We didn't make it that far into the game, so this time we probably will make it a lot further. I'm going to try and keep these recordings to about a half an hour or so. That way they're better watchable. So yeah, here we are. We're going to pick up. I decided to also make the screen full screen this time, just so then we're a little bit better seen. If anybody prefers the other way of viewing, let me know, and I'll try it the other way again. Alright, here we go.
Huh? Yeah?
Alright, so we have two other companions with a wolf companion. We're going to
No problem.
look around. A lower level of the ruins had been blocked off by fallen rubble.
That should be far enough. But what now?
We look for another way out. Storm has to die sometime.
What happened out there? Kaliska shakes her head. Windstorm of a kind they only get in the ear Glenfast. Not too many people live through them, so it's hard to know what's true. Glenfathan word of Baywak. To them it's the god's way of reaping the souls of the land that couldn't find their own way out. But they'll take a living soul as soon as a dead one. Doga yours? Who attacked us? Glenfathans, those be the hut dwellers Adama warned you about. Look to be Fangs of Galawan, who is the twitchiest of the lot. They go ruin to ruin looking for fights with colonists. Poor Dama. I think he half expected this once we lost the main road. The Glenfathan said we trespassed in their ruins. I don't believe that. Odema would never allow it, but as much as the Fangs are hot-headed, Glenfathans don't attack without being provoked. Either they saw something and got the wrong idea, or... She glances down the passage beyond. Or there's looters in here with us. That's not something we need right now. What about everybody else in our caravan? Kalishka's lips press together and her chin rumples. Her voice is faint. The wheels got a hold of them now. She looks up. God's grant them better luck in their next lives. You don't seem too upset about all of this. Kaliska looks at you in the eye. A violet current running beneath her voice. Maybe you just don't know me enough to know what upset looks like. And maybe I've seen worse too. Seen worse and kept walking. Because there's nothing else to be done, and because there's other people you care about who still need you. True. Let's get going. Just gonna take a peek up here, see if there's anything up here.
Someone else has been here. We should move.
Okay, here's a tip. You discovered some camping supplies. You can use these to rest in the wilderness or dungeons, fully restoring all your character's abilities and health. Easy difficulty allows you to carry more camping supplies, but hard restricts them severely. If you fully run out of camping supplies, try to find an inn. Most have cheap rooms available. Alright, glad we went that way. I wouldn't have found that stuff if we didn't. A trembling, sickly creature emerges from the dark, clutching a spear. Knobby elbows and thin ribs show through its scaly flesh, but you recognize it as a Zarup. It watches you cautiously, breathing its in ragged sighs. Raise your arm and stand still. It's okay, I won't hurt you. Raise your arm and stand still. The creature cocks its head and approaches you, its soft clicking sound emanating from the back of its throat. The creature sniffs around you, finds nothing of interest. It steps back and resumes its defensive posture. It's okay, I won't hurt you. The rope recoils, fingers still wrapped tightly around its spear. You now have one rank in a deposition reputation. These reputations represent how people perceive your personality through the world. Even seemingly nasty reputations will be favored by some people, and benign reputations often bring out the worst in certain people. No deposition is inherently good or bad in Pillars of Eternity. But if your main character is a priest or a paladin, you must be careful not to misalign their depositions with what is favored by their deity and order. Respectively, for the main character only, their deposition will modify the effects of the holy radiance. So that doesn't bother me. The creature cocks its head and approaches you, a soft clicking sound emancipating from the back of its throat. The creature sniffs around you, finds you nothing of interest, and resumes its defensive posture. Slowly back away. The Zarp watches you warily as you go. Alright, we're gonna go around, I guess. We're gonna try and go around it. If it attacks us. I mean, we're 4-1, so... Alright, he attacks us. So what we're all going to do is just start attacking.
Sure.
Huh, there's an adventure over here.
Wait,
I could have gone around.
do you hear that?
This item grants the ability to shield the wearer from myriad perils that plague the world of Eora. An aspect of the god Eothas, Guan represents the harvest of old age, symbolized here by many interlocking sickles that form a ring. As Guan helped protect the dignity or old age, so too do his followers pledge to prevent young lives from being harvested before their time. I'll take... Oh, that's mine. Alright, so offer the body crossbow, leather armor. That's a 6. Relief gem. His brilliant eye, to this brilliant blue gem has been sculpted to look like an eye. torch. Tattered journal. So we're actually going to look at our inventory at the tattered journal, which is this small folio is torn in several places and blood is soaked into several of these sheets. One later entry is still legible, however. I can't believe my luck. A few rounds of dice and I've got my hands on a genuine Ingwithian artifact. Fellow who had it said it's a pretty nothing, as far as he's concerned. He's not willing to go digging in some ruins. But if he's right about this gem leading to a hidden treasure that's even worth sneaking past a few painted elves, I'll head to Kyantless in the morning. Then it's just a matter of finding this relief he was talking about. Alright. So I'm gonna give my companion some other items. I know he may need some weapons. Give him each a bow, have a spear, mace, axe. Okay, this weapon I have now is scale armor, that's 7. Hide armor, 5, 6. So right now this armor I have in here that I picked up is less than what I have now. See what she has for armor. Yeah, they pretty strong and 6. Yeah, okay. So not really worth swapping any armors or anything. Guess we'll continue on this way instead of going to the main room. Alright, we will stop here and formulate an attack.
How can I help?
Tattered ear of a scolder.
Eh?
That looks weak. Could be a shortcut.
I'm gonna go check out the main room, see what's over here. Make sure we don't.
Those tiles look suspicious. Let's be careful.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be going that way. That looks like that's gonna cause some hurt, so I'll see what this does over here, see if the shortcut works out.
How can I help?
A crack runs along this wall from floor to ceiling. A light gust of air passes through it. Push on the wall, use a hammer and chisel to weaken the wall. That's what I'll do. You set to work, the crack lengthens and widens with your effort, but the process is more taxing than you'd expected. Sweat beads your forehead and your muscles begin to ache. Try something else. I'm going to try pushing on the wall. I'll have Yoden push on it, but it does not give. Alright, and finally just chiseling it works. But I lost my hammer and chisel. But I think we set off something though.
I could scout ahead, see what's around the corner.
Got him! Let's go!
And that that's how you take them down real fast. I don't want any more of those, or... yeah.
No problem.
Do you feel that? There's a draft coming through that wall. I don't hear any sign of that storm either.
Alright, so we made it around those symbols on the floor, so we can safely move on into the next room.
Let's go!
Spear spider legs. Spear spiders have long, tapering front limbs ending in a sharp point, which they use to impale their prey. This leg is covered in a small, backward-facing barbs. Well, maybe we can take that for crafting. It looks like we might have found our eggs there. Let's see. We made it out. Nice. Okay. Continue on. Old-robed man. 4 figures stand before an otherworldly apparatus, an ancient structure of chiseled Adra in metallic vein, ominous and looming like a silent observer. Standing motionless in the midst is what appears to be a human body, colorless as stone or ash. The other figures gaze upon it, what might be contemplation from your vantage point. You are well obscured from their view. The figure closest to the machine stands out among them. A thick gray beard forms a face, otherwise hidden beneath a metallic mask. His faded robes are embroidered with a runic language unlike anything you've ever seen, and he wears a strange black headdress with 2 protrusions that jut out like the wings of some malevolent creature.
Oathbinder, bear witness, and see this man has kept his word true to his last breath, full to his blood's last drop. Guide his soul, queen that was, and regard it among your favored. Let his life by the key be his confession. Let his death by the key be his absolution. May he walk the world ever free of the crushing weight of the book. Your brother has done his part, and you have seen the power of his contribution. I will accept no further hesitation from the rest of you. In the sight of the queen that was, will you fulfill the oath? Will you take your place beside your brother in the endless esteem of her memory that is without flaw? Step forth and be assured of the great worth of your life's course.
For an instant, the apparatus goes quiet and the air is still. Then all at once it erupts with a concussive surge. Light floods your vision, and you are knocked to the ground. Your head snaps back as you land. pain wells into the back of your skull, washing your last thoughts away into the black, unconscious void. You open your eyes to a different place, another time. You stand in a circular room, grand and domed, its walls lined with Adra and trimmed with copper. The style is ancient, but the chamber is unweathered. At the far end, a great pillar of Adra pieces, a floor from below, its shimmering textures giving the illusions of boundless depth. Encirculating the pillar is an apparatus much like the one you have just seen, but immersive and multi-faced and intertwined. Your thoughts are yours and not yours, and they seem to exist before you think them, and they are all questions. Pressing questions, troubling questions. Questions that must be answered, or. At the base of the pillar now you see a man with a thick gray beard and ceremonial robe crowned with a strange ornamental headdress. You know this man. You are walking towards him now at a pace that is hurried while trying not to appear so. You have something you want to ask him, one question above all, and the question spins madly in your mind. You awaken to find your malice had broken, only to be replaced with something far more concerning. Faint whispers are audible at the edge of your hearing, like a ringing in your ears that do not subside. Movement flips through your periphery, but when you turn to look, you can see no sign of whatever it was. You find your gaze regularly darting this way and that, an involuntary paranoid tic. If the sickness, it may be dangerous to go without treatment for long. The figures at the machine are frozen in place, flesh and blood replaced by cinders and ash. The man who led them is nowhere to be seen. Hyoden and Kalisa lie bloody on uneven cobbles, their body twisted unnaturally in death. You are alone and far from help. Gilded Veil may be your best hope of receiving treatment before things get worse. Oh, I lost my friend.
Huh? Huh?
Alright, I'm just gonna take a bow. And I think that should be good.
Yeah?
Well, that was haunting. Characters have earned enough experience to advance a level. Click on the icon on their portrait to level them up. Alright, cool. So I can level up with some points. So, stealth, I'm gonna level up a little more. I like to be stealthy. Lore represents a character's accumulated miscellaneous knowledge and trivia, often of occult and historic topics. Outside of conversation, scripts, and interactions, lore is used to activate scrolls. Higher lore values allow the character to use higher level scrolls. I'm gonna remove one from here and place one with athletics. Okay, next, talents. Talents can be used to customize your character beyond your class ability choice. Some talents modify existing abilities, but others add new abilities to their own. A subset of talents are class specific, but most can be taken by characters of any class. Veteran's recovery. By adopting the strict discipline of a fighter, the character is able to pace themselves in combat, steadily regaining endurance over time. Accurate wounding shot, I guess I'll go for that, so then my bow's a little stronger. So, SkormsGhost level 2 ranger now. After leveling a character, you may want to review their statistics. Open their character sheet to see the attribute, skills, and talents in greater detail. This massive structure is formed of stone, ader, and copper, and covered with drained cliff. The air around it vibrates with an unusual energy. So I guess that's where we are. That means that, hold on, let me just make sure that's right. Okay. Yeah. Make sure there isn't anything else I can do here. Alright, I guess there's nothing else I can do in here. So I'm gonna head to Valewood. Take 6 hours to complete a journey from Thailand list to Valewood. I'll accept that, yeah.
I could bed down here.
And with that, I think we will call it a episode on our way to the Gilded Vale. That's our goal. I know these episodes seem a little short, but probably better for viewing. And on that note, we'll see you again.